Here they are. Two faves from this kiln opening. Now you're gonna have to watch the kiln opening to find out what glazes they are, but just to give you some info on the firing, this was a cone 5 glaze firing. I did a 1 hour preheat on the kiln so that all the glazes were sure to be dry and I was limiting any spitting that I might get. I did a medium speed firing that took us all the way to cone 5, which is 2167. My kiln runs a little hot, so it was a little hotter than that. And then I did a 15-minute hold to help let the glazes mature and melt and run and drip and get so yummy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is my L&L Kiln E23T. It's 23 inches wide, that's why it's the 23, and T is for tall, meaning there's 3 sections. You can't see there's a 3rd section, but there is, I promise you. So we're gonna dive into this kiln opening and I'm gonna share these and many more pots in it, so let's get to the kiln. All right, so this is the E23T kiln. This means it's 3 sections high. Each section is 9 inches. You all do your math. How many inches is that? And it's 23 inches across. So we're just gonna give this an opening and I'm gonna just brace that against the wall. Here's my cone pack. And I have to tell you, when I was loading this, I realized when I got to about halfway up the kiln with shelves that I forgot to put the cone pack in the bottom. I know, it's okay, I promise. But anyhow, here's my cone pack. This is cone 4, cone 5, cone 6. Cone 5 is bent great, super nice melty. This is exactly what I want to see in my firing. So it's a thumbs up. That's a good screenshot right there. Yeah. I have to grab that. All right, so I didn't write down any of these combos, so it's gonna all be from memory. And we're just gonna start with the mug, which, wow, that's green. That's much greener than I thought it was gonna be. This is the Sand and Surf interactive pigment from Georgie's, thinned down, half water, half pigment, applied, wiped back, and then I used the Georgie's zinc-free clear. And it went very green. I guess that's why it's Sand and Surf. It's kind of like a beachy green. And then inside I glazed it with my Briar Rose, and I did the handle pink too. What do you think of a green and pink mug? It's pretty cute, isn't it? It's not the usual that I do, but it turned out great. And then the drippies on the inside are Mayco Light Flux, a little coastal theme going on here, you know, so pink sand, maybe we could pretend we're at a pink sand beach. The pattern on here is my Art Nouveau textured roller, and this is a hand-built squared mug that we did in a recent Clayshare class. You can search it up and you can learn how to make your own fabulous squared mug like this. The clay is Tuckers Smooth Stone Spec. Do you see some specks inside? That's not anything wrong. That's the clay. It's speckled. So I actually really like it. I think I'd probably like it better if I did blue, but I always do blue. So, you know, we did something a little different. All right, so put that over there. The other mug that's here, and is these might be the only 2 mugs that I did in this firing. I did royal blue speedball underglaze first, applied. I water it down, 80% underglaze, 20% water. I apply that to the surface, then I wipe it back, and then I glazed it. So the colors I used here are Lily of the Valley Celadon and Himalayan Blue Poppy on the bottom. So you have this kind of blue heart, floaty heart mug. I'm just playing with some colors, playing with underglazes, and then on the inside, Lily of the Valley, over that royal blue speedball underglaze, and then the white frothy again is Mayco Light Flux. I actually really love that on the dark blue. That's beautiful. So if you like blues, this is for you. This is the little Valentine heart rolling pin, the mini roller. So cute. Okay, so that is just a round mug though, not a squared one. Moving on. Here we have a larger plate that I made using the Marrakesh rim template. So that's the shape that we have here. I applied, and the pattern is Moroccan tile. So you can see, I love to put the Moroccan tile with the Marrakesh. They sort of go together. like design-wise, but you can do whatever you want. It's fine. Anyhow, Speedball black underglaze, but I also use Speedball teal, and you can see some of the teal in the darker areas. I put teal on the rim. On the back, I just did a quick kind of light coat of the royal blue and the teal, just to get something on the back. The glaze here is Himalayan blue poppy, here, and here. One coat, because it is a dip and pour glaze. You don't need 2 coats. If you thin it down a lot, you can do 2 coats. But remember, because it's a dip and pour glaze, if you go too thick, you'll get crazing, or you'll get some pulling away, and it doesn't work the way you want it to do. I'm sorry, crawling, not crazing. But anyhow, this looks fabulous. No complaints here. This has got the beachy vibe is definitely happening in the studio today. Okay, we're going to continue the beach theme with this bowl. So this is a bowl we made using GR Pottery forms, round forms, and I did a stack. So I have this nice deep bowl, like a pasta bowl. This, I believe, is from the pasta bowl class that I did for you all. And I used the Marrakesh rim template again. So you get different looks, ways you can use the rim template. The texture on this is the Jess Tangle 12-inch rolling pin. So good. Oh my gosh. And then again, I was on a roll with those Speedball underglazes. I've got royal blue, teal, 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 royal blue, and then teal all the way around the edge. And then on the back, royal blue, teal, royal blue. I don't know. I was just playing and having a really good time. And again, the glaze on this is the Himalayan blue poppy celadon. So instead of having this really contrasty dark blue, dark teal with a really light cream, almost white colored clay, the Himalayan blue poppy tones everything down. And so where it would be brighter or whiter, it's actually a sweet, beautiful, soft blue. And I love that because it's not so jarring or harsh. So this is a real winner. This is great. So far, there's nothing I hate. I'm really happy with everything that came out of the kiln for this firing. All right, so let's grab these out. Make sure my posts, oh, okay. So, funny story. I had a plan for the stargazer rolling pin that I did recently, you all know about. And my plan was to do it black and then go back in with gold and do a black and gold. But then I tried pearl white from Spectrum and sort of went off the deep end and fell in love with it. Look at this white on white with the stargazer. So it's just one coat of the pearl white Spectrum glaze, and where it's thinner, it's more like a beige. And then white, I love this soft neutral that we're getting with the white on white. But here we have moons, and we have full moons, we have crescent moons, we have shooting stars, we've got the Big Dipper, we've got the Little Dipper, and a whole bunch of stars in the sky. I love the white on white. It is fabulous. I am so happy I went with that. I did do one in black, you'll see it in a minute, but this one, I love it. I'll be buying a bunch more of that pearl white. I think I have enough to do one more piece, but I don't have enough to do more than one. And you'll see why when we get down into the kiln, because I sort of, well, I told you I had a moment with it, right? I did. Well, we'll just go here next. So these are the live edge plates that we did a demo a little while ago. I did a class. I used my ginkgo rolling pin. This was actually the mini floating ginkgo rolling pin. And then I went ahead and used Mayco copper wash to stain the ginkgo leaves. So I thinned that down about 50% water, 50% Mayco copper wash. And then I did one coat of green tea on the back. So that's the glaze, and that's from Mayco as well. This is one very thin coat of green tea. I must have done 2 coats because look how the difference is. So yeah, we'll say I did 2 coats there. And then here, I had a little fun. I decided to mix it up, and I did 1 coat of Mayco green tea and then 1 coat of the olivine on top of it. So that way it's not just green. Let me show you one that is just green tea. So same thing, same exact technique on the back. I did the same process. the difference here is the olivine. So you get that little more darkness, a little more interest. And then this is just the green tea. Not that the green tea is bad. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. And I love the softness, but this just adds a little more depth to it. Now, both the olivine and the green tea glazes from Mayco are more of a satin finish. So when you're glazing dinnerware, you want to keep that in mind. If somebody uses metal utensils, they could leave marks on the surface. It's still completely fine to use for foodware and it's still food safe, but you will get some wear marks on it. So I would do this, and you know, if you make cards to go with your pottery with whoever purchases it, maybe put a little care of use card together and explain to them that they should, you know, hand wash and maybe only use wooden utensils on this particular line of ware. So these came out great, really happy with both of them. I do have more with this glaze technique in there. And again, this was the live edge class that we did. And I just want to show you that live edge. I love how each one is very organic and unique. It's no two are going to be the same, but yet you would know they were set. So that's these. We have ones with raised edges. Oh, the last thing I did is I did use the copper wash on the very edge. Do you see that right there? There's just a little bit of it. Isn't that nice? It just finishes it off. You don't have to do it, but I really like the way that looks on there. So those came out really well. I got 2 more half shelves, and then we'll get to some whole shelves down in here. And I do have help to lift those out. Don't worry. All right, this is the piece I was most concerned with. So when you fire big pieces of pottery that have flat bottoms with lots of surface area touching your shelves, what can happen is they can crack in the firing, either when they're heating up or when they're cooling down. And so I have a plate in here that has no foot, and it's a big plate. So there's a lot of surface area touching that kiln shelf. And the big issue isn't so much that when we say, oh, well, my kiln was only at about 80 degrees or 100 degrees when I opened it up. The concern is your kiln shelves. The material they're made of holds heat for a long, long time. And because of that, the very bottoms of all of your plates stay hot for a lot longer than the tops do. So when we're doing mugs, there's only a small area touching our kiln shelf. So we don't have such a worry about thermal shock in a piece. But when you have a plate, so much of that bottom is touching the shelf, it's really, really hot. Well, the rest of the kiln can be cool, but that shelf is still very, very hot. And that's why we sometimes end up with these issues with our thermal shock, and you get cracking. The other thing that can happen is when you're firing your pottery, you all know that it shrinks, right? But did you know it expands as well? So during the firing process, your silica will change and it will actually get bigger, and then it will get smaller. And that's separate from the actual shrinking of the clay itself. And what will happen is not so much the expansion part, but when it shrinks, when the kiln starts coming down, the clay might get hung up on the shelf and the plate will break. So that's why we get breaking. So I do have that big plate, but you know what? The other 2 plates are here that I was talking about with the live edge. So let's just do these quickly and we'll show that big, I did all that big talk and then here we are doing this, I know. So here's one with a raised foot. Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh, green tea, again, same thing. But on the top, I did more olivine, less green tea. And then this one is just the green tea. I didn't do the olivine. And this one has a little bit of a raised foot. So if we look at, let me grab this one here, both just 2 coats of green tea. This is just a regular simple foot. This is a slightly raised foot. And then this one here, we have a big foot. This is a big fancy foot. And this was all in the class we did. Look at this little stack we got going right here. So you can see all the different options, but this is nice. Maybe, you know, you're having some friends for brunch or something and you want to do something a little fancy and put some cookies or brownies or pastries, or maybe you buy them, you don't bake them. You know, I'm not saying you have to go bake, but if you bake gluten-free ones, you can send them to me. Anyhow, this olivine green tea, it's a great combo together. 1 coat of each on the ones that have those together. The ones that are just the green tea, it's 2 coats of that green tea. And remember on the texture, I did use that Mayco copper wash. And that is just thinned down, one coat brushed on, and then white back. All right, all of that to get to this right here. Here's the piece I was talking about. This is the back. And what I do is I sprinkle a very fine layer of alumina hydrate on my kiln shelf. And that way, when the piece expands and contracts, the alumina hydrate acts like little ball bearings and it gives it a way to move. So the clay moves when it is getting bigger, and then the clay moves when it's getting smaller. So I don't have to worry about the cracking. So you notice none of my plate is cracked. You'll see a crack, it'll come radiating in, and it will be almost like a mini skinny slice, like someone took a slice out, but it's not. It's where your clay is fractured. But do you want to see the front? This just wipes off with a sponge, by the way. It's just alumina hydrate. Oh, yes, look at this. I told you me and Pearl White are having a moment. I will tell you that it is, I know kimchi is so good and running hot chowder is so good from Spectrum, but Pearl White is the glaze for me. And I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with it. And I'm going to keep using the Pearl White, and maybe I'll need an intervention, but maybe not, because it's so beautiful. It's so great. Okay, this would look great with gold luster, by the way. So now we're down to the faux shelves, and the person that was here to help me had to step out for a minute, so it's all right. What I'm doing right now is I'm checking to make sure my posts release, because sometimes in a glaze firing, your posts will stick to the shelf and will fall back down onto your pottery. You don't want that. I've broken pots that way. All right, I got this. This is right at the limit. I cannot lift more than 20 pounds, according to my doctor, for my back. So I don't believe those shelves weigh more. And maybe today is arm day for me in the studio. Oh, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? You guys know every day is arm day in the pottery studio, right? Like that's the thing. Yes, another large piece with no cracks with pearl white. Look at this. Oh yeah, I am so happy I picked pearl white. The clay is Tuckers Smooth Stone, so it's just a beautiful cream colored clay, but look at that. So nice, so good. So this is a bowl we made using my cloud rim template. Oh, you know, I didn't talk about that. Let me grab the other one. Same cloud rim template for both of these. This one, we just made a simple plate using the RD2 forms. I used the larger one. You see we have a very slight upturn, but it's almost flat, but not quite. Fabulous serving, but nothing super juicy or saucy on this plate here. And of course, these are all food safe. But this one, on the other hand, look at that. Isn't that nice? The shape we got on here. So this is an altered bowl, and I used the OG round forms. Those are the original round forms from GR Pottery Forms to make this giant, beautiful serving dish. Summer's coming. Who doesn't want to do some summer salads in here? How about doing a caprese salad on this one, right? And then maybe you have like a fresh garden salad on here, or maybe you do a really nice pasta salad. We got more plates to show, but lots of ideas right here. Love that. I am in love with that. All right, let's check this shelf because we don't want our shelf post sticking. Remember, we just talked about that. I got it. No, it's not more than I can do. I just want to make sure the posts release because I'm going to pass it to you though. All right. Missy's here. She's helping me out. Here you go. Thank you. All right. Alrighty. More pearl white and then the black. I don't end on the black because, you know, it's the one of those things is not like the other. So originally I was going to do all of them in black. Now, I don't think the camera is showing how spectacular. This is my Northern Lights combo that I do on mugs sometimes. This is Obsidian. It's a black Celadon from Amaco, and I do love it. And you see the texture beautifully. It's there, but it's a little more subtle. And I put it on the entire piece, 2 coats, front and back. I have alumina hydrate here, just because I put it on the whole bottom shelf. And again, that just wipes off with a sponge. But beautiful coverage with 2 coats. And then here, what I did, oh gosh, can you see that? So beautiful. The glazes I used are Smoky Merlot. So 2 coats of obsidian on the whole thing. And then I did a band of Smoky Merlot. Like I drew a line here and here and here with the paintbrush, and I did 2 coats. And I did a coat of Smoky Merlot here and here. So it's kind of like jagged little lines, like dashes almost, and you drag them out. Do it random. Don't do them exactly the same. And I did 2 coats of that. Then I did 2 coats of blue rutile, same thing. And I put them on kind of jagged, not on top of the Smoky Merlot, but next to it. And then I came back with the, I got to double check, but I believe it was the Lustrous Jade. And I put that, yeah, Lustrous Jade here, look at that. Now you could use seaweed. Seaweed's really popular for this technique. I like the Lustrous Jade because seaweed is a runner, and I didn't want it to run and drip. I wanted more of this undulation that I'm getting here. So I'm really hoping you can see the beauty of this piece here. And this is our ruffled rectangle room template. I will have to make these available soon. I know we just started releasing those, and we have 5 designs right now, but we'll get more. So there's the stargazing in the black. Love it. Oh, I'll show that in a sec. I want to show it with the white right next to it. And then, yeah, I know. One more with the pearl white, because I couldn't help myself. I might need some help. We'll see. Marrakesh rim template, stargazing. This is a bowl stack. Actually, it's just the OG form stacked. And I think I did use the bowl stack. So 2 coats of the pearl white. I was concerned about it dripping, so I only did 1 coat right here. And then the 2 coats, you can see where that starts right there. But I went a little uneven with my application. I wanted it to look like clouds. And so that was intentional. And I really like the way that came out on there. But oh my gosh, isn't this great? Too much with the pearl white? Yes, no, I don't know. Put that could go there. And then one more piece with the pearl white. Someone stop me. No, don't. I'll show you the back. There's nothing really exciting except alumina hydrate, because see how much surface area was touching the kiln shelf? There was a lot. And I wanted to make sure that we had movement if we needed it and we didn't have any cracking. But this is the mini ginkgo rolling pin. And it is a small rolling pin. But what I did is I rolled it across the surface of the clay, and then I just moved it down and rolled it again. And I made the space between the 2 passes a design element. And again, 2 coats of Spectrum Pearl White. I'm sorry, Spectrum. I'm sure after I post this, there'll be a run on Pearl White. So all of the glaze dealers that sell the Pearl White, be ready. I'm going to message Clayscapes and let them know what I have done. Oh my gosh. The Pearl White, I'm telling you, it's so good, so good, so good. I'm really excited about it. And I was going to have like a chill day and not get super excited about stuff because I have so much to do. All right. And there is no cone pack in the bottom because remember I told you that I forgot. I forgot, but we did have 1 in there and it was good. All right, so I want to show you the 2 plates. This is pearl white. Are they the same? They're not quite the same. They are almost the same size. I used a different GR Pottery form. This is the plaque forms, like the fancy edged one, and this is just one of the rectangles. So the only difference being is this one's got a little fancier thing going on here. Well, this has just got the straight corners. Now here it is, the obsidian with the Northern Lights glaze combo that I do. And then here it is with the pearl white. You tell me, which do you like better? Obsidian or pearl white? I don't know, both are good. Both are delicious. I'm really having a moment with the pearl white. I've done this for years. I've been doing this for maybe 10 years, this combo. It's not a new one. It might be new to you, but there was a time, I don't know, about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, this was the hottest thing in town. Everybody wanted this combo. Everything I made with this glaze on it, some of you might have pieces that I did. They flew out the door. I couldn't keep them. I'd have sales and within 5 minutes, like 40 mugs were gone. It was crazy. One of the reasons why I don't do online sales anymore, because people get crazy there. So anyhow, Northern Lights combo. And actually in my glazing, I have an Amaco, glazing with Amaco tutorial. I don't know if I talk about that combo in there. So this is the white. You tell me, which one do you like better?